Good evening, y'all. Indy, Teresa, Elaine, good to see y'all. Ronan and Rabbits, thank you for joining me. How are y'all doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
I kind of need you on this one.
No.
Both of y'all. I like the different views, and you know that. I like to hear different sides to everything, and so it's kind of weird. There's Marshmallow Man, good to see you. There's actually a song called The Snake. I didn't know this, and it was sent to me in an odd way, and it kind of matched what I was wanting to talk about, is the deception, how you spot it, the things that we're listening to, the things that we're watching, and how it can actually be a negative outcome. It can stay with you. It can man, how do you explain that? It just allows more negativity into your life. And
grabs a hold of you.
Times is when yes.
Permeates every cell in your body and never lets go.
Well, you don't have to get so graphic, but
come to think of it, what good news stories are you watching? Am I right, chat, panel, whoever? I'm not seeing a whole lot of good news stories out there, Bonnie. What are you referring to? I need context to this magnificent question for which my opinion is warranted.
I didn't say good news stories. I'm just saying that during these times is when we need to stay positive, have a positive outlook, and believe, just absolutely believe that prayers work, and that He is all around us. And so when I see or hear people
yeah, do you have an example, or did you fall asleep to episodes of Highway to Heaven again?
Hi, Bruce. How are you? I didn't. Okay.
Nobody say anything about the Chinese. Bruce is in the chat.
Right? We want him to stay there. I have seen scripture be used as a weapon.
Ooh.
And okay, so to explain that is okay, when the first time I ever saw it, I was little. I was probably 7, 8 years old. What? And stands alone, it's good to see you. And I was going to this church, and I loved it because we were always singing and making things, and here I was hearing the word, just like you're supposed to at church. But then they told me that I had to be baptized, because if I died that night, I would go to hell. And so I went home and told my mother, I got to be baptized right now. And she said, give me a good reason why. And I told her what they had said. And she said, you're not going back to that church. So now that I'm older, I can understand why. But that's what I'm talking about, that they can use it to, from my understanding of the scripture, is children are not held accountable until they know what they're being held accountable for. Does that make sense? And
Ronan,
so,
take it away.
Excuse me, let me clear my throat. No, I get what you're saying, buddy. And this world is full of lies and manipulations and confusions, right? And I grew up in a
yes,
more religious home, so I'm familiar with this situation you found yourself in and getting baptized. But there's, and my parents were kind of push you up into a point about it in my youth. For example, it's in our religion, I guess you could call it for a lack of a better term, but in our practice, in our belief, if you will, that baptism is something done once you've come to an age of understanding, and kind of like your mom did with you, if you can explain why you want to go get baptized, then go ahead, go do that. But according to the gospels, baptism and salvation don't aren't the same thing. And now this is just it. I was having a conversation with a close friend about this earlier this week on how I realized that a lot of the songs and um, the how should I say, in modern day, I'll say in modern day, it seems like to me a lot of the music and a lot of the performances being done in churches is some kind of hypnotism. They're getting, it's a spectacular show. They got smoke machines and people are wailing, and it's a really extravagant scene.
I want to know
But
what churches you're hitting up.
look
Smoke
up any
machines.
of them. Look up any of them on YouTube. All these churches do that. They have these special worship service, and it's like, there
Damn.
is a, reading the Bible, it does tell us to make a joyful noise and to sing a new song unto the Lord, right? But it specifically also says not to get caught up in these incantations and rhyming, and not necessarily rhyming,
Freaking
but like repetitive
incantations.
repetitive trances and stuff like that. That's not beneficial, right? And I think it's something
All
that
I'm
each
hearing
and
you
every
is
one of us has.
advocating. Mm-mm. You bad boy.
What advocate?
You're
Advocate
advocating. You're
what?
advocating that religion is a tax on the stupid. People just go in there to hoot, holler, wail, and hang out with other stupids. What if it's more than that?
I don't think it was. I think that's what it has become now, because like everything else in the world we live in today, it's been overcome by this, synagogue of
Oh
Satan
yeah, I'm
feeding
not
the
talking about.
evil, right?
I'm not calling the Smithsonian. I'm not talking about the before times. You said now, today and age. That's
Now,
all.
yeah.
You said incantations. You make it
Well,
sound
I
like
mean,
one big old frat orgy.
I've heard people talking and praying as if their words in a certain sequence said just right in a special tone will compel God to move. I think that to me is absurd. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that at all. We're
That is
to
pretty
succumb to
intense.
his will, right? We're supposed to, in a sense, we would like to think in a way that we're sovereign, but truly we're not. We belong to him if we say we're followers, if you will, right? Nevertheless,
Well,
what's the
but
benefit of
and
all?
that's but that
it,
but that's my point is it's not just spiritually, it's life. It's our whole life. And so because we see all the things that are coming out in headlines in other channels, in um, people who are trying to bring the truth, are they really bringing the truth? And it's really hard for me to listen to a lot of it, but some people absolutely hang on it. And so is that it, is there a point of becoming um extreme in
well, are we
anything?
talking about people
And
who get cheered up singing hymns, or are we talking about religious zealots, like the
And
ones
that's
that
just it. When
do what
we
I
have
want to
the
do, or I burn you
opportunity,
out?
right? And here we have the opportunity to kind of seek out whatever we want, right? Like there's everything in
Yes.
between here on this YouTube, right? So we can kind of choose what we watch, what we participate in. Sometimes we feel compelled to, sometimes we find it entertaining, right? Sometimes we find it challenging and we're looking to grow, right? And I think that's part of the problem is that we recognize fear, but uninhibited fear stifles growth. You know, it's something you can
I
overcome.
heard
You
a
can let it overcome you, right?
That's kind of like what Watt was saying. He's like, you can be spiritual and not religious. I mean, there's a lot to it. Is my point.
Exactly.
yes.
Shout out to
And
Mr. Watt Life.
yes.
2024 Watt Life.
And you know what fear is? I heard it last night again, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Fear is false expectations that appear real.
I thought that was delusions. I thought fear is I'm going to stop breathing and I don't want to yet. Kind of fond of it. I like breathing.
No, we don't. Can I read this? And having been buried with him in baptism, you were raised with him through your faith in the power of God who raised him from the dead. Thank you, Laris, too. And that's so that was another thing is if you want to go into baptism, I think that it's the whole thing, the whole Holy Spirit, that everything that you gain.
Well, that's the
in
second
that
baptism, right? The baptism, there's a baptism in water, and then there's a baptism in the Holy Spirit that's spoken of in Scripture, right? Those are two different.
And fire. Baptism and fire.
That's everybody gets that in the end, I guess. I don't know. Depends.
And you know, if we're talking about baptism, what the hell's that got to do with snakes? I'm getting really confused about these show notes.
I know. It's scared.
We start out the topic. Yeah, you guys start out with like grand delusion and religious extremism versus nurturing, and next thing you know, we'll be talking about a ham sandwich. This is awesome. It's hard to keep up. I'm not getting Alzheimer's hanging around you guys. That's for sure. You got to really think to keep up with this. You got to really think to figure out what's going on over here. I feel like I'm watching CNN.
Elaine's wanting to sacrifice a rabbit.
Aw. I always, story of my life. Seriously, you wouldn't be the first.
Pebbles, Bill. It's good to see all of y'all coming in. It's just okay, the snake. So okay, I'll give you two variables. I guess
oh
you would
hell,
call
what
them
is this? A
variables.
science project? Variables? Are you talking about people who talk poop and deceive? Is that the topic of this evening?
Sort of.
Without the variables?
Okay. So
skip them there, variables.
Hey, William. So I don't want everybody to freak out. I'm just saying, what if?
Wait a minute. So wait, what the hell are we talking about now? Everybody's a lot of people. Everybody's a big number. The hell are you going to drop on us at 9 o'clock? I'm sorry, I'm a little scared because that fear thing you were talking about earlier.
Okay, and that's what I want everyone. No fear and don't kill the messenger. I'm curious and I can't help it. I want to know every angle to everything. It's like not what has happened before. I want to know now. And the reason I keep on about the border is because that's where I'm at. That's what I'm in the middle of. And so, yes, I can see all the variables of this. It's a major
Did you ever hear that
problem,
old saying?
and there's no piece of paper, there's no anything that I can see that's going to stop it or get rid of it. And that is a
So
problem.
your
80
your arrest
million.
warrant and your immediate redirection to FEMA Zone 6 will do it. That piece of paper will stop it. Stop
Oh,
everything.
here we go.
It'll
Hey,
stop
Lord.
respiratory
And
function.
so,
You won't get sick.
so
Dead.
even we're
What?
we're coming into election year, and
No way.
I didn't
That's
intend for
this
it to
year?
go this way quite. I didn't think of it quite going this way tonight, but it is. I'm taking it there. But because we are supposed to be celebrating Jesus' birth till January 5th, I was told, and not just one day. Meet Puppet, good to see you. And so, what if? Okay, every time y'all hear Trump speak, doesn't he tell the
hell.
story of a snake? Does he?
Yeah, I've actually been to a
Does he tell
Trump
the
rally. I was at a Trump rally and I heard him tell the snake story. I recorded it. I have
So
it
you're
on my
anointed.
cellular device.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cellular device.
Yes, sir.
so you were really there.
Biological.
Yeah, I was there. Yep, I was there. Well, he
Hey,
was here,
Pussycat, good to see
and we
you,
met up in a field.
Carl. So how do you take that? Okay, what if?
I
This
get
is
it.
just
I get it now.
hypothetically.
I get it. I can log off. Good luck, everyone
Question.
else.
You're not leaving. So what if he's warning us? What if not what if he's not talking about the deep state? What if he's
You're just saying, like you're saying, what if he's the snake that he's speaking of in his poem, right? Like, is that your
Blasphemous.
fear?
that's
Is that your fear?
yes. What
And
if?
it is
Yes,
just that.
it's
Then
not a
it's that.
fear, it's a concern. It's a concern because I don't know.
A concern. I'd hate to see what a fear is if your future is a concern. You're like, hey, where's your next 30 seconds of air coming from? It's a slight concern. Well, damn, what the hell are you afraid of? What are you worried about?
Okay, that's fear. If your air is being cut off, you would naturally go into
temporarily.
fear for a moment, lose it. Yes.
Yeah,
So
it's exciting.
Well,
I'm just
go ahead,
talking
Mike.
about with the election that is coming up. I want to know every person inside and out, and
You'll
I have just
never
seen
do that.
no, but I have seen things that have made me question
There's some nebulous damn
all
talking.
of them.
What the hell? We'll go back to the snake speech. I didn't see it. Maybe
Okay.
somebody in chat like me is under a rock and they didn't see it. So what the heck?
Hey, Dorinda, good to see you,
Ask me
huh?
opinions and stuff and don't even tell us what the opinions are about. What am I under? Am I a J6?
I'm not afraid to
There
speak.
you go. God is nice. Says trust no man. Thank you, hilarious too.
I think we have to understand that we will not know anything about any of them other than what they want us to know about them. Period. End of discussion. Right.
Damn.
Yes.
And
And
the best
so
thing
what
you
is
can
y'all?
do is get to know yourself. Know yourself real good. Know how to handle yourself. Know that's the only thing you can really do. You can know about them. You
definitely.
can.
And that's why we're allowed to vote however we want to without public watching over our shoulder. Is each person makes their own decision no matter what it is.
They really care about what you think in the voting box.
That's so none of it makes it easier for them to fudge the numbers.
Hey,
that's why.
If I'm a powerful rich guy, right? Some congressman or some sleazeball, I know that I couldn't go to sleep in my luxurious lifestyle without knowing that the American people were good to go. You can't even trust the person who makes you a burger at whatever restaurant you like. And you trusted somebody with your future? How about that? Well, go back to the snake thing.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Is that the song you were talking about, Bonnie, in the beginning? That he, because that poem he tells is a part of that song. It's actually originally a song.
Hi, Anaconda. Oh, really?
I like,
Yeah.
maybe I should take an ESL class. I asked to make the story more simplistic, and you guys made it more confusing.
So,
Well,
What
I'll
the
make
hell
it.
happened with
I'll
Trump?
give you my. I'll give you my 2 cents on the guy right now. Ultimately, he is a man. He has free will, right? He's created by God, just like we are. He's nothing more, nothing less, right? What he's gonna do, I don't know. But at this point, I don't see what other chances, what else we got. Like, really,
well,
like
and that's what I was going to ask you. What do you think about that? Um, and I'm so
Uh-oh.
sorry, everybody. I cannot remember his name, the Indian guy.
Wow. Look how far we've come as a nation. The fucking hey, it's a boo from The Simpsons running for president.
Okay.
His friends call him salami.
my
What's
two
wrong?
cents as far as any other candidate goes, like I really, and this is like, all right, in
Uh-oh.
full disclosure and honesty, like I've canceled my registration. I'm done playing their game. All right, I see that this is an entire game or something of moving the middle, right? There's the giant herd in the middle that's kind of waking up slowly, and if you move them too fast, they'll stampede and everything will just be on fire and disaster and full war and chaos will ensue. So I do see that there
Yeah.
is a change in power. But
Oh.
so for me, like in my mind's eye, I see it as Trump or bust. If Trump doesn't somehow ring in these, the large middle, and somehow restore some kind of normalcy, it will, kind of explode all over like a zit, just bursting everywhere. People are tense about everything.
Of all the analogies, man. Oh,
It's not going to be
God.
pretty. It's nothing pretty. There's
Somebody
nothing
in
pretty
chat might have
about
been
it.
eating tapioca.
So as far as like any other candidate goes, I mean, that's just their game. That's what they want. All I know is like the one thing they don't want, that they give us the perception that they don't want, right? It could be part of the game. It could be all part of the grand illusion scheme or whatever is going on. Like we're kind of
Hey,
also mentioning with the snake poem, right?
oh, thank you. I'm so glad you went back to that. If I do a super chat, will someone please tell me what the damn snake poem is? What I've been asking about the last 30.
You've never heard, what kind of
Do you want
American
me
are you?
do you want me to look it up? Maybe I can pull it up and read it to you, and then
Oh,
you
at
can.
this point, I'm over it. You guys are talking about crap you ain't even seen.
Well, then, what are you complaining about?
I wanted to know. I'm a curious human being.
And I offered to look it up.
And I might have a slight OCD issue, like vacuuming when I don't have any carpet.
Well, I've heard of people vacuuming their driveway.
What? No, stick. Look. Okay. Well, here's one for you. I get everything you guys have said to date. I pray to God chat's figured it out because I'm still wrestling with what y'all talking about. But let's say Trump gets in and doesn't do anything or nothing good. Then what happens? Maybe the zit doesn't pop and they move the goalpost and we eat it.
And so, and there you go. Thank you. That is, where do we go from there? And the only solution that I can see is
Venezuela.
no, not running
No.
away. Running away never
We got
solves anything.
what? Tell that to every kid who's told their parents deuces ever.
Yeah, and what happens? They end up coming back. I know.
Some of
Seen it.
them do. Just the ones that didn't want out hard enough. If you really want out, you never go back. Look at Camo. He never went back. The world is his home.
Okay, I think
I mean,
Ronan has your answer right here.
yeah, that's the video I
His pretty
recorded.
colored skin had been all frosted.
Hopefully I
going
don't
back
get in
to
trouble.
the snake
Poor
shit.
thing, she cried.
You are. Don't
I'll
play
take
this.
you in,
No.
and I'll take care
Can
of
you hear it?
to the snake. Take
Yeah.
me in, oh tender
Yes.
woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up, all cozy in a comforter of silk, and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from.
So I'm going to stop it right there. Okay. That sounds just like Eve, right?
Is he
What
talking
happened
about a
with Eve?
political opponent? Like, is he making fun of somebody he's running against just really elaborately? He's hanging out in the Bible Belt.
I'm not sure. I think he's talking about being deceived by it can be anyone or anything, is what I'm getting out of it. Am I wrong, Ronan?
Pretty vague messaging.
I mean, he does this in the sense of, you know, to create these questions. I mean, this is part of his game, I think. Like the deep state, you know, have they let him in? He got to the, you know, like, is he warning us? Does the devil has to show us his hand before he plays us, you know, before we agree to contract? Or are we saying, well, hey, he told us he's a snake and we elected him anyway, so we get what we
I'm just
chose?
super jealous.
I don't know. I
You know,
think
there's
it's
people
all
out
Carl's
there
for
who
saying
don't
that-
know.
interpretation.
Yeah.
Carl's saying he clarified it once that the snake is about the border.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool.
Well, that answers that. We're all over
I
here
don't-
like,
Well, good. Let's kill this stuff. I gotta go get dinner and not think about zit. What is wrong with you?
Kayla just like saved the, yeah, it's just boom, 30 minutes in, problem solved.
Okay. So that explains the whole snake thing. But let's
Work
get back
that
to
night,
this
and as
whole.
soon as she arrived,
Oh, we gotta
she
listen to it. No, I don't want to hear it. No,
You
it
don't.
burns.
Do you want to
It
hear it or not?
I don't care.
Yes
It's
or
just
no?
anytime you play music. No,
It's not music.
It's his speech. I recorded on my cell phone. I own it. This is an exclusive live coverage
Yeah.
of a Donald Trump rally by
You-
your own truly here, Ronan, on the ground reporting. You know, this is synchronicity, folks. See how Bonnie titled
you look.
the name
You
the
look
snake.
like you're
I
above the
have the
ground.
snake poem. I
I
definitely
don't know.
knows weed
What kind-
fiction.
To drive him
I'm
crazy.
thinking you're above the ground. I think you're above the ground on that video, and you're a Fed plant. Because how'd you get out of the crowd to take that shot? Either you're 13 feet tall,
It's a
or you're in a
corral, dude.
secure
It's
area.
a corral. People. Oh yeah, you do go through security, it's hilarious. I got a story about going through security, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. So there's no copyright infringements that could possibly be because this is live on the ground footage from Ronan. Synchronicities happening. Title is the
13
snake.
feet
I
off the
have
ground.
the snake poem. 13 feet off the ground because I'm the Nephilim giant, right?
Oh God, I forgot. I forgot about the Giants. I'm learning so much. No, you're
All
okay.
right, I'll
and
mute.
You
the
can-
cat. No, it's and I don't believe everything I see and hear. And then what else did I see? Chrissy Cat. It's more like 80 million. And
Let chat decide our fate if we got to
oh
watch
my
this
goodness, Apple.
historical note.
They're just they're. I'm telling you the ones that I think are.
Go to commercial. Go to commercial, Ed. Tonight's episode brought to you by Ronan Wood. Need wood? Bug Ronan. We won't send you bug wood.
Where's what from Chris? Oh, the number. Okay. And I'm not positive, but I'm just saying in the last 4 years, that is my estimate. If we have 12,000 a day coming through just one city in Texas, and we know that they are coming in along the whole border, and I figure it up, and that's about what I come up with.
I figure
Do you have an
xenophobia.
estimate of how many you think it is? It's too many. So even if, okay,
Damn. All right,
even if
comrade.
Trump is elected,
How many are we supposed to have?
no, we're not supposed to have any. So even if he is elected,
It's
how
almost a number,
is
mind
he
you.
going to? It doesn't matter who's elected. How are they going to reverse this? How in the world? There's no way.
I don't hear
They
a lot
lost
of
85,000.
trusting the plan happening here. I don't hear a lot of trusting the plan happening here.
I'm
I
not
trust the
trusting
plan.
any dang
I don't
plan.
think it's. I have absolute 100% faith in the plan. Let me tell you, it's a mighty fine plan.
Well, let's not forget that part of the plan is lies, deception, and fear. I'm convinced that not everybody coming over the border is out to kill me. I'm sure that a majority are
oh
just
yeah,
looking for a handout, a better life, of something different, whatever. And then yeah, the
Cool.
opportunists, the evil, finds a way, like with every other system, to work it to get themselves in here as well. You know, that I agree with. That is not a good thing, right? Like we've heard of people on lists getting pinched, and probably we know that.
What the hell is getting pitched? What is it? The 40s? The
Well,
figure. This is
No, I
Matlock.
heard
He was
a whole
pinched.
lot more.
He was pinched, Your Honor.
hey man.
Subway in New York, that poor woman, and nobody would help her, and they were just sitting there videoing it, and some man just came onto the subway and rescued her, but everyone just sat there, and so that's a whole other thing.
I got
is
no
the
money for no
mentality
lawsuit.
of our people right now is unreal. But
Why is it this way? Why is this happening?
TikTok. Everybody
exactly.
blames TikTok.
Why?
I'm just gonna blame TikTok. Why are you late to work today? TikTok. Oh, okay. Don't do it again. It's $20 missing from the register. TikTok. Oh well. You know, do better next time. TikTok. So hold up. We went from
I
the
can't read
presidential
it.
candidate being a deceiver to mass immigration.
Well,
The spam
because
caller.
the snake, because Campbell cleared it up for us that Trump at one point clarified that the snake poem that I had recorded at this live event has to do with the border problem, right? And I could see that too. That's like a general, right? Like that's something to appease the masses. Oh, okay. It's an answer.
You don't have to keep
Directly from the
bragging,
source.
Ronan. You don't have to keep
There's
bragging.
always two sides there.
We know you're a Fed. We know you're a Fed because you were there and you're not in jail. And if you were there and you're not in jail, Ronan's a Fed.
I got an alibi. I got witnesses. I got
all the Feds.
I got
All the
digital
Feds have that.
footprints on the.
You get issued those. You get issued all of that when you join the Fed. They give you a stare
and you know
identity
what?
and
If
everything.
I was at J6, I'd have a YouTube channel. I'd be on Timcast. I'd be on the circuit of podcasters that are paying to interview the ones that you know, apparently are out, like the Schauman dude. Like, let's talk about Fed, right? Like, how does this guy, the biggest spectacle of the entire day, right? Like the mascot of the whole thing, if you will. You know, some may say allegedly. I don't know what
Fucking
kind of words we need to
mascot.
throw out here. I don't, you know, whatever. And, you know, but
Man,
you know, he's out like on the
you're
circuit
stupid.
making bank right now. You know, he was a hero in prison for a couple of whatever, and I don't know.
So,
I know that it's horrible conditions they're saying, and the reports are terrible coming from. I'm not making light of it.
so,
Owen Shroyer
so
just
you're
got
not.
out too, and you're gonna watch his numbers go through the roof, right?
So,
So it's
are
like
you
if I was
arguing that
there,
you're
I'd
not a
be.
Fed, or that you're not making bank? Like, well,
I'm mad that like
that's right.
it's so obvious to me that we're convinced that on that day the entire operation was organized by them, right?
What
And the majority of the
operation?
players, the Capitol, storming the Capitol, you know, right? Like, isn't that
Storming the
what you're
Capitol.
saying?
That
Yes,
that
Fed
door can
operation,
withstand a rocket launcher. They opened the door. They didn't storm shit.
right? Well, okay. Nevertheless, you're derailing the conversation. You know,
No,
so the yeah.
I'm snaking things up.
Well, and so it is. It was clearly an operation all done, and now all these guys are out and making bank on their stories and selling whatever drinks and
Because
mushroom
the
tea,
operation
this
was
stuff,
the
right?
operation was a success.
Right, for them.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you didn't
So I'm
specify
going
who
to go back.
for.
Well,
I'm going to go back to some of these comments. Phil says
Oh,
there's money to bring them here and there's money to send them back. I don't think so. Well, and where's this money coming from? They're just printing it out of thin air. We're broke.
yeah, we kill
What is it?
kill
3
each other
trillion?
for air. Air.
Wildlife said today in 1945, the World Bank was created with the signing of an agreement by 28 nations.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Eric, the
It's a pretty island.
socialist
Why is everything
agenda
done on
being
islands?
taught in 1960s and 70s is what brought us to where we are today. I did see the
Oh, yeah.
70s had a big turnaround in the 70s.
Kent State.
We do not have the jobs to take
Yeah, those
of
assholes.
all those aliens.
Mouthy teenagers. Shoot them.
And Chrissy Cat, that is absolutely the truth. The infrastructure cannot handle that many people. And we already see how the food plants and things have been having horrible accidents. And so we're limited already.
You need to
So
stop
yes,
fear
this is putting a
mongering.
strain. I'm
You
not
don't think
fear
the people who
mongering.
coordinated you don't think the people who coordinated the movement of billions of nobodies didn't take into account the sewer system and the water system? No, it's going to do exactly what they want it to do. I think it's going to work out
Let's
just
talk about the water
fine.
system. No, see, before all this, we could tell our water supply was lower, like 20% lower than normal.
Ronan is
And
radioactive
so
now.
you add all this to that. I don't know. And then the watch the water and is there I'm telling you, if you have a city reservoir around you, keep an eye on it.
Just casually drive by your reservoir. It's a gigantic body of water on the planet. Just, pop your head in every now and then. Good luck with that.
Then what's it called where your city filters the water and is that not called a reservoir?
Some cities have some places use reservoirs, yeah. Some places do that.
Big old reservoirs. It ain't like a puddle. Ain't like you could drive by the old fishing hole and check out the city reservoir. Most of them
Well,
got
ours
pump
If I
houses.
is.
remember, like you can go fishing and stuff there. if I
How the hell
recall,
we get? How the hell we are talking about engineering now? What the? That damn clip still up?
Well, it's
What's
because
wrong with us?
there's a concern with the infrastructure and a failure its ability to maintain an enormous influx of people, and there's lots of woes in this
Yeah.
world. There always has been, there always will be. You know, like, did you try writing them a letter? Did you try writing them a strong pointed letter? I mean, I don't know.
Oh, that's
There's
dirty.
not much we could
That's fucking dirty.
do, you know.
Hey, maybe. Hey, they shut down the freeways and stuff for anti-war protest. Let's go protest everything. Let's give everything the same amount of passion.
Well, that's part of the
What are you
problem.
protesting for?
If they can't divide us amongst ourselves, right now, what you're seeing throughout the states, and I was just talking to family in Chicago, so like one of the biggest stinkholes of this whole business, right?
They are
Whoa,
having
whoa,
a major
whoa!
problem.
Even pardon?
Sinkhole.
They're having a major
Have you ever-
problem right now because of the
Yeah, and all the
Additional.
communities, regardless of what tribe they're coming from, whatever tribe they associate with, are all coming together in opposition to this problem,
Tribes.
right? Yeah, all tribes. I said the different tribes, if you will, the different cultures. Chicago's very diverse, always has been, right? And that's part of the beauty of it. It's the restaurants, it's the food, it's the
You just said it was a sinkhole.
originally. Yeah, and now it is because of the policies, right? The policies, like every other policy across this land, is destroying the country, right?
Stank it all
So
up.
even the Democrats over there now had enough of it because, hey, apparently they voted for the guy. He's in power. He's doing what he said he was going to do. They're eating it now, and now they're some of them were even telling me, I think I wrote in Bernie Sanders. I don't remember who I voted for. They won't even admit they voted for the guy. And it was a bragging point, 3 years ago, right? Like, we got Trump out of the office. We're going to save the soul of America. Wasn't that his campaign, Save America's Soul? Yeah. Well, here we are today. And the ones that voted for him back then won't even admit to
got
me
any holy water
today that they did that. And that's okay. I don't call them out on it. I'm not looking for war.
Yeah.
We're united.
Obviously,
on that front,
it doesn't bother you.
But now, since the overarchy, if you will, of this country recognizes that they may have gone a little too far, and we're actually starting to unite. The tribes that they were trying to create friction between and battle each other so they can maintain that chaos are actually coming together in opposition to a lot of this.
That's good.
So now what's the problem is now they need a new batch. They need a new problem. So that, they'll create this problem. Their biggest fear, if we want to talk about fear, let's put some fear back into them. Their biggest fear would be somehow that we here now and those that are coming would actually have no problems, would get along and somehow figure it out without causing that friction to give them that power, right? Unfortunately, I don't think that'll ever happen because they'll make sure it doesn't happen, right? They'll make sure it doesn't happen. We remember the Boston Tea Party. Part of that story, if I remember civics classes, those folks dressed up as Native Americans and ditched that tea out of the boats, right? Like this whole deception thing's been going on a long time on both sides, right?
I don't know where he is. You go find him. Am I my brother's keeper? Yeah, it's been going on a while.
If we find a common ground and understanding of working together with this mass of people, we will have a chance at winning.
Yes.
If
I want to no.
Lost.
Let me get this straight. You think you're trying to convince me that the people running the world, the spooky people, right? They're worried that all the special ed kids are going to group up and have a massive group of handy-capable motherfuckers going after Star Wars weapons. That's what they're scared of. Just want to make sure I'm tracking the latest.
Well,
you sure about
one
that?
Thing you're forgetting is I said all the tribes are united against this front. So you may
every
be
last
coming
one
from
of them.
a tribe that supports that, and that's where your perspective is coming from. But the truth is, of many, all the people of all this land, all over the states, on this land, I should say, right? Those are the ones that are coming together. So you have whatever talents,
Yeah, but
however that works.
what's the tard? Yeah,
That's
exactly.
concern.
What's the tard ratio? For every Rambo, how many quirkies? Because I'm not going to worry about the numbers so much. If it's like 100 to 1.
I think I remember you telling me a story about some folks taking down Blackhawks with sticks and rocks, right? Like, let's not. The underdog has always had a chance in my book. Let's look at David and Goliath.
No,
We can go all the way
I'm
back,
not saying,
right?
hey, those poor bastards.
It's never taken the masses. The masses just don't have to stampede, is what I'm trying to say. Is the masses just have to remain calm in that sense and not overreact, because that's what the deep
I agree 100.
That's what the enemy wants us to do, is overreact. And
I'm
there are
tracking that.
enough, or it'll be engineered to appear that there's, the folks like you described doing those things. Why? Because they're the perfect target, right?
I do like the engineered part. That's a whole nother fun fact. No, I agree with that. No, as far as like remnant or whatever, figuring it out. No, kudos. I thought you meant all of them, including the crazies. I agree with you. If the crazies just, chill out, it might work. Maybe.
Stand corrected. It's called a water treatment plant.
Oh, hell. I'm learning all kinds of shit tonight. This is, you know what? I had no idea what I was walking into, but this is awesome. Right? I love this place. Quick, somebody tell me the secret ingredient in Papa John's pizza. Anything's possible here.
But Ronan is right about getting together, and
the second party is the first part where everybody has like an aha moment. I don't see that happening.
I don't think everyone will have an aha moment.
Because that could be chaotic.
I think
that could be troublesome.
Sheep don't have to stampede, right? They just don't have to stampede. Is what I was trying to say. I don't think there'll ever be an aha moment. I agree. Everybody's different. I think it's just like everybody's different right now at this time and place, if you will, but also over time we change, right? So and grow.
Brilliant.
So, the idea would be we come around to these things, even though we may not understand them today. Through life, we learn and we come to a greater understanding as we live, right?
I think we've had multiple aha moments. I mean, look at what 2020 did.
Yeah, it made a whole lot of people not stampede. I don't think you guys have to worry about no stampeding. I think they'll walk right into that gas chamber. What? Over here? The Xbox is over here? Okay, I'll go over here.
I think it was. I think the Great Lockdown was a good wake-up moment for a lot of people in mass.
And they didn't stampede.
It was the J6. It was the
no stampeding when Biden was sworn
election.
In. No stampeding, no how.
It was, except for the military turning their backs on him. I thought that was pretty awesome. But
that showed him. He cried himself to sleep. He cried himself to sleep that night. I promise.
All we have to do is pay no attention to them and run our states how we want to, right? How the people living on the land of the states so choose.
I like that.
We don't need to pay attention to them.
That's cool.
They're gonna do whatever they want, right? They always have.
Hell yeah.
They bribe. What they do is they steal our money and then give it back to the states in many different ways to promote their federal programs. So let's just cut the fat. Let's just cut the middleman out, right? And it'd be cheaper. It'd be better. What they're supposed to do, right? Their job first and foremost is protect the border. So there goes that. Kiss that puppy goodbye.
It's all subjective.
If you read in the Declaration of Independence,
the border's still there.
That they put before the king was of many. That was one key part of it. And if you read through them, you'll see they violated all of them already again. Obviously,
that border is the most protected border on the planet. That border has the most technological marvels backing it. That border doesn't have a problem with protection. Problem is they
That's a
tore
good
it
point.
down.
That's a
They
very
lowered
good
it.
point. There's no
The
enforcement.
border's
That's
just
correct.
fine.
That's
Just
correct.
fine. The
There's no
border's just
enforcement.
fine.
That's right.
Everybody can relax. The border's safe. We're just doing it on purpose.
Thank you,
Ain't nobody who
Decaf.
has this many Apache helicopters has an unsafe border.
Hmm.
Thinking, what?
But
Hey, if
we're seeing
they can show Hawaii whatnot, why can't they secure that border? Damn town don't want to become a 15-minute city. Yeah, just do that.
but we're seeing
You
it
know what?
in other countries also. Look at France
Oh
and
man, that sounds.
um
Don't say that. That sounds like it might be coordinated. Oh shit!
yes, yes.
No way.
Thank you.
No, get out of here. It's impossible. Stop telling tales askew.
All of this has been coordinated. And that's what I've
You
been
understand the
saying.
level of
We need
coordinated evil it would take to pull
we
that off? I mean, you, damn,
yes.
you're not tard
And
army
we
in that
need
level.
to
You're not going to tard army that evil. You better get a good army.
and
Get a
that's
Ronin
where we
army.
need the strategic. We need people who have been there, and we need
Hell no,
generals.
we
We
need to get
need
them. We need them damn cloning vats online stat. You get them damn cloning vats, and you put the angriest assholes in there and just make a bunch of them. We ain't got time to rebuild 200 years of sabotage values. You know how long it took them to screw us up? Imagine the rehab. Man.
I think part of fear is unknown, is not knowing, right? Part of that fear is not knowing what the future will look like, and because we don't know, in that way, we tend to assume the worst. And
I don't want to think about it. It
like,
scares me. I'm afraid
yeah,
of the unknown.
well, a lot of these things could happen. On the other hand, maybe it doesn't, right? Like, let's be real, maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
That sounds like something Lando would say right before he murdered.
That'd be the worst thing that could happen, right? Is if we go into a quote unquote selection year and some other guy gets picked and this shit show keeps going on and nothing happens and it continues to fester. We need resolution. We need this resolved. We can't,
Why?
They want to keep bleeding
4 years
us.
just
Right?
fine. Yeah, we've been bleeding just fine for 4 years. We got another 8 years of bleeding easy.
They have their way,
So,
I guess. I don't know.
Carl just said he's known a border patrol down there. Told him over 20 years ago. He did not understand, but he was told to let them go way back then by his superiors after catching them. So this has been going on a long time. So the reason I think that it is coordinated is because look how many thousands are coming at once, all of a sudden.
From all over.
Not all of a sudden, but for the last 4 years anyway. And yes, from 146 countries is something I heard.
You're talking some Dr. Evil type shit. Hydra. That'd be too big, Bonnie.
I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing mixed reports across the globe, if you will. It seems like some of the countries in the former Eastern Bloc are actually coming around nicely. They're making their policies reflect conservative type of policies. I mean, you break the law, you go to jail. It's enforced. It's simple. It's not. And I mean, how should I say? It's not. I'm not knocking anything, but it seems like they've had, and when was it? 1989, I think, was the revolution in Romania, right? So from then till now, and it's finally presentable, I would say. Dare I say that?
Hey, that's a good castle by the sea type thing. Sand castles. Kids go out there and build these elaborate sand castles and no one bothers them for a while. And then the tide comes in. And all their hard work goes to shit.
but it perseveres, right? Yet children still do that for whatever reason. They still go back and build
Hell
another
yeah.
castle. Isn't that something?
I hope so.
And we do
That's
it.
how we keep we keep bleeding off.
Right.
We
And
keep
we
coming
discovered
back.
that the joy doesn't actually come from a finished sandcastle, but the joy comes from actually building the sandcastle. And it's even more fun when you build that sandcastle with your friends, right?
No, that sounds like some Bob the Builder Nickelodeon satanic stuff. I don't want to
That's
admit
just
it.
Really?
what the deep state would say. That's just what the deep state would say.
Oh,
That's what a Fed would
Switch-
say with his Fed clip up. Fed.
I
I
saw
think you
some
got it
Give the
mixed up.
name.
I think if I was a Fed, I'd be
government
working
office.
for the other side and getting paid.
Bonnie, what the hell were you
I saw-
trying to say?
I saw something about a government officer earlier. So, okay. Are you going deep state tonight?
I don't think we have a choice in the matter. I feel like I'm fighting for my salvation talking to this guy right now. Good grief,
You're not
man.
talking the damn
There's no sunshine coming from this guy. There's no sunshine in Georgia today. Thank God Watt's on that land. Otherwise, it'd probably be fire and
I'm
brimstone.
glad no one believes in
No,
OBSEC either. Screaming my damn geolaterals to the universe. They're gonna know I'm standing in front of the Mayflower right now. I just got one question. What the hell was the topic tonight before we decided just to dive on
The
into
snake.
anywhere?
Come on, man. We've been talking about it all night.
Right.
Where have you been?
I'm just here laughing, watching my
So,
damn dog.
Rabbit, you're giving the other view. Is that what you're doing?
No, I was just curious. No, I'm what do you mean what I was doing? I didn't understand as a neutral Switzerland party. I didn't understand Ronan's first statement of, hey, all these different tribes are going to get up at once and start marching somewhere. And I'm like, well, what's the tard ratio? That don't sound smart. That sounds like nothing to worry about. Then he clarified, you know what? I'm not going to recap the whole damn show. The short version is, no, everything's fine. Fine. Everything's fine. Fine.
Everything's fine. Okay.
I just had a question. I wasn't advocating for anyone. And I don't have a Biden t-shirt. Damn, man. I feel like I'm on a hot chair over here. Anybody else feel like they're in a frying pan? A couple shrimp next to you? Sizzling?
Hot seat.
Ronan thinks he's fighting. Shit, I'm
I
not
still
even fighting
think
anymore.
that I still see
My
a
belly.
devolution happening. I still see, I mean, it depends on what you look at. I mean, we're seeing states making decisions, some good, some bad. In our personal opinions, it is what it is. They're folks, choosing on their land. So I do still see a rollback of that federal system's grip on the states. And however, they're still clinging on because they still want control. So they're using money, right? Because that's
sounds like a lot of talking about dirt.
Right. So I think, but in order for people to be able to grow up, right? You don't grow from a baby to an adult, right? There's a season as a child, you grow, you're in your youth and adult, right? So a lot of people have
grow up.
They're susceptible to fear this easily.
Prozac.
The sun's still going to rise tomorrow. There's no way, right? Like it's going to be a new day. It's going to offer new opportunities. And ultimately there is a God. We can discuss and we can plan and we can think we know, but we really don't know until it happens. And what happens, right? According to his will.
Kissinger knows. Kissinger figured it out.
I don't know what that is, but he has the same fate. He found the same fate everybody else will be, and that's in a casket in the ground somewhere. We all still have that going on, that's for sure.
I've heard that a lot, and that brings comfort. It also scares the hell out of me, because that means I got two choices. I could be in a raggedy cardboard box with no name, or I could just blow out, have a couple temples built and stuff. I mean, what's it matter if we're going to the same place, right?
Well, the notion there is that our bodies end up in the same place. We don't have an eternity on the earth. we are eternal beings, in my opinion. I
Tell
do
that
believe
to
that to be true.
freaking
I know that.
Bezos in 4 years. 4 years. Tell that to Bezos.com. the first AI humanoid.
So what
I'm
if we
calling it.
have Red Sea moment? What if, I mean,
What if what?
what if we have a Red Sea moment? What if,
What the hell's that? When I hear Red Sea moment, I'm thinking that shit that kills everything and everything dies. Red tide. So like, what are you talking about? Red Sea moment.
when God opened the sea to let the people through and then destroyed the army that was after them?
Okay. There's no river or ocean standing between the people and that
I'm not
supposed
saying
army that ain't here yet.
literally. I'm
There's
saying
nothing stopping them
when,
except them. That and robots. Robots are stopping them, damn it.
what
Mighty
if
good robot to rebel kill.
Obviously, there's plenty stopping them. Otherwise, they would have won by it. It would be over, right? Like,
Oh, that's right. That's right.
excuse
Because
me a
we're
minute.
assuming they're not farming us for something. They want Ronin essence. It's a really sick game, man.
they haven't gotten it yet. I'm been here the whole time.
That's not what your high school yearbook says.
Hello.
That sounds like some mighty
I
good
thought Bonnie
rebelling.
was going to say something. Got
You're
dead
like, what's
silent.
going
I thought
on?
I
Huh?
lost
What?
service.
I was ready to lead the revolution a minute ago. Now I'm lost.
Well, what will happen will happen. I mean, this is out of your control. Everybody has a plan. Like Mike Tyson said, everybody's got a
Hell
plan until they
yeah.
get punched in the face. Same thing goes for the deep
They-
state, both sides, all
They
sides,
punched.
everybody.
I believe that 100%. But
A
lately
lot
we've
of
been
how you
taking it
define
to
a
the
man is
junk.
how they act in that moment.
Yeah, we've been in the fetal for 4 years, while millions of people die and we get robbed.
I mean,
Ah,
that's
we're
what the
pretty noble.
reports say. That's what the reports say. But in my personal life, I've been thriving these last 3 years. My garden's doing better. My chickens are happy. Everything.
Well,
As
that's
far as what
good.
I'm doing, I'm building, right? So I get it that the reports may be saying that, but my personal report can't reflect that, right? It's not
Yeah.
applicable to me because
Yeah, but
ultimately,
you unregistered from voting, so you don't count anymore. They're not watching you.
that could be. I guess I don't know. There's
Oh, I don't know.
no
I don't
point
know
here if you
neither.
ask
I'm
me, but.
talking shit. I'm glad it.
And
I
even
know,
if they were
obviously, not
monitoring me, whoever
everybody is
they are,
invested.
they might learn a thing or two. They might
Or
learn
they'd be
about
bored to
compassion.
death.
They might learn about
Fucking
caring. They might learn about not being such an
bored,
a-hole sometimes.
bored to death.
Maybe try being nice. Try being nice for a change. I don't know.
Nice. I thought nice was Chinese for bend over.
I don't know. I don't speak it.
Tile now, nice. Oh, damn, that clip's still up there. I had to find my camera. Walking around the other part of the darkness. Yep. Well, I'm glad it's all going to work out with that red tide moment. That's good. I was a little worried there. I thought we were going to lose everything we ever worked for, like England did. I don't want to be England number 2. Damn it.
Well,
They ain't dead, but they're dead. They're dead inside. They don't have a nation anymore. Now they're joke. They make sitcoms about them. Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna start working on that strongly written letter ASAP. For COB.
Well, I mean, it's just like everything. Man discovered fire. You can use it to heat your house. You could use it to burn your enemy's house down. right? Same thing with everything
Jesus,
else in this world,
Ronan.
every other technology, right?
It's a hell of a leap, right? just oh, I'm warm. Let me go set Rob on fire. Jesus.
I think rabbits did scare Bonnie off. She's still muted.
I didn't care. I know how. I've been learning Texmas.
Bonnie,
Texans at Christmas. They sound even
there you
weirder.
go. Now you're not muted.
Okay, I'm back. I
See?
said
Sounds
excuse
like that.
me, but y'all probably didn't hear me because y'all were both going blah, 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 and I didn't know what was going on then.
So
And
I'm so glad we're sharing each other's ideas and growing as a team. No, yeah, well, the hell with what you were doing too, loser.
so what was this letter you're talking
No,
about, or
nothing.
stern letter?
Nothing
What?
happened.
So
Nothing.
and
Tell us about them
the,
steakums.
I was gonna bring that up because
Steakums?
I feel like there could be some that think that I don't believe in the Constitution and the documents, and I absolutely do. I think our forefathers knew what they were doing at the time. I can see where that would work locally for me, maybe, but state, federal, I don't see it. Whatever this is that's going on, whatever it is, I just,
I'll tell you what it is. It's you professing to be a damn communist. That's what the hell it is.
Andy, I am not a communist. What?
Oh man, you even admitted to it, and we got it on tape.
Furthest from no.
I'm gonna report you to the Luftwaffe.
I am trying to figure out how to keep our state. I think that our state is getting
That's a mighty big job for one damn person in a state. You know how big a state is, Bonnie? You have any idea? It's bigger than
yes,
Walmart.
and
States are pretty big.
Yes.
So how is little old you gonna help big old Texas? I got a scary thought. What if you're in the way? What if 99% of Texas has gone queer, and you and your ilk are standing in the way of proud Texas? What's the majority here? I want to know. I want to know the queer to steer ratio.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. If each person feels that way about their state, then
you're screwed.
Yes,
it's got to be more than one person.
But I think that my state is being quiet. They're not quite as vocal as me, maybe, and I'm not real vocal.
They're biding their time as they burn their flags and lose all their monuments and they shit all over the Alamo. They're just waiting for that right moment.
And so it goes right back to all I can do is right here in my community and getting the group together, knowing the growers, the meat producers, the ones that have the milk, the ones that have the necessities of life. The one thing that I don't know how to go about is the water. If they mess with the water, then we're in trouble. And so yeah, that's where I'm at. It's just trying to figure it all out right here.
Well, that's probably why you're going crazy. You're trying to figure it all out. You'll lose your mind. You'll literally lose your mind. That's exactly what's happening.
I'm going crazy.
Breakdown is brought to you by the world. Tonight's
doesn't the Bible tell us, like, you read scripture and it tells us that God, he made the sparrows and we look at them and we see how he cares for them every day. You're worried about all these things that might happen, could happen, probably won't happen, but The
Or already
fear
happened.
is heightened,
We
or
already in it.
however, right? Like I'm not, we're not here forever, right? We're coming back to that in that sense. So I mean, you will lose your mind trying to figure it all out. You have talents and you're good at something. Work on that, and how should I say it? It's one thing to have a network of these people that produce, but it's also another thing to be able to be in that network producing something and being part of that community that way. Well, whatever it may be, it might not be a tangible thing. It might be spending
Sound
time
like a
with people.
damn
I don't know,
eulogy.
whatever it is. No,
Fucking
I'm just saying
eulogy.
that it's what's happening. It's part of the psychosis. It makes you lose sleep now because you're worried about the water, right? It's like that's part of the problem here, right? You're worried about the water. Now you can't sleep. You're stressed out all day. You're
Yeah. What
diet
about the
goes along with
nanite?
right?
What about the nanite? What about the nanite pills? I mean, why are you worried about the water? I thought the shit was in
Then
the
there's
air.
let's talk about the chemtrails. If that's not getting us from the water, but
Oh, hell.
getting us from the acid
What about
rain.
the
Is
laser
that back
beams?
yet? Are we doing that again? Is acid rain a thing? Not yet, but will be maybe.
Smog.
I don't know.
Oh man, acid rain. You guys are a buzzkill.
Okay.
First, you guys tell me
Ronan.
everything's gonna be all right. There's gonna be a Red Sea moment, and then you guys shit on my parade. Man, you guys are worst like pep group ever. Like you start out strong, and then you tell me to go play in traffic.
When I said, what if there's a Red Sea moment, and then you acted all weird about it, and then that's when I said, excuse me, and then I thought that you and Ronan kind of argued that one out while I was gone, and so I came back and
because you thought we said blah 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 again. Never
listen to me.
Why you don't listen to me?
I don't sit and I don't sit and worry constantly about the border or about water or about.
Yeah, you do. You just said you done did.
My headache. Well, it's okay. It's in the back of my mind, but my main concern is what's right in my home and right outside of it. And,
I thought you were gonna say like bed bugs. Termites.
No.
Termites. I'm concerned that the organ man ripped me off. Oh, same thing. Nobody likes those children and grandchildren. Oh, there's one of them now.
Excuse me. Yeah, mind control is. Thank you, John Dunning. Excuse me a moment again.
Honey, you might wanna block my screen. You might get a strike. My dog keeps going to the bathroom on your live.
It's in the little box. I don't think you can't really see it. And it's okay if they're animals. The world is their toilet. It's a dog's life, that's for sure.
Nah. This dog is like family. It's never acted like this. For some reason, me out here acting a fool with you guys has encouraged my German Shepherd to repeatedly crap on camera. He doesn't even normally go over there. Get out of there, girl.
She's made for camera. Oh, she's a star.
She's made for TikTok. You
gotta start getting her outfits. Start putting outfits on her.
Oh, hell no. I'm not putting nothing on the dog unless it's armor. Look at dog car armor for the apocalypse. That isn't gonna happen because of that rainbow money Ed was talking about. That shit better hurry up. People are pissed. We got that whole zit thing you were talking about.
Well, and that's, I think, I guess that's why I get a little passionate about it, because it's one thing to look at specific things in the Bible, but the overall message is that he is the way maker, right? Throughout time, our Creator has brought us through some crazy things. At one point, it was parting the Red Sea, right? We read of that. And a lot of other things. We see individual stories about the personal relationship we're to have with our Creator. and how we're to act in the community and with other people, right? We're taught these things through that scripture. So in part, it's, we can do what we could do with what we have, but ultimately he is the way maker, and that's what I have faith in. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but I know I'll get through it, and I'm going to do what I can to, like Rescue says, make it a good day, right? Because we have the ability to do that. And in all things, it's I want to say it's an exercise, right? Like we take care of our physical bodies, we have to exercise that spiritual part too and keep it strong. We have to exercise our discernment, and sometimes we put ourselves in a situation with a guy like this.
We went from Trump being a snake to you were there and you're fed to I'm bad to water engineering. You guys were talking about pipes and shit. we've covered all this aspect, built each other up, tore each other down, and then you finish with a sweet ass sermon and shit. You trailing off and do a fucking pep talk. Hell no. Get Bonnie in here. Call my agent. You guys are crazy. Every one of y'all certifiable. You guys ain't allowed anywhere near a squirrel farm, and you live in a nut house.
Well, yeah, and then mine is to be for the Lord. That's all right.
Oh, hell. Oh, this is awesome. Everybody's awesome.
Am I hearing blasphemy?
Come on. Oh, yeah, you. Talk about how Trump might not be speaking the word.
I just...
It is.
Ye of little Texas. I wonder what they're going to call the little original Texans reservation they're going to carve out of that state for y'all. They're going to call it like Texar was. Oh, you got to go back to the Texar was reservation. This is now the Andy Newman state, or some stupid ass name. Doesn't hurt anybody's gender. They have a revolution, right? And they give it a stupid name. Isn't that where Texas was? Nah, after the revolution, now it's just known as they. Damn, that's a whole lot of they. It's a big ass they.
Are you done?
Yeah, Ron. No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be just fine. So,
sometimes you just gotta wait for him to tire himself out.
There you go. Ronan's got it. Ronan's figured it out. Ding, ding, ding. And the psychological engineering award goes to Napoleon.
Hey, I'm 6 feet, all right. That ain't that short. That's
Napoleon.
not short.
His stature
I'm
had 5'12". In his mind, he was God. How big do you think that was? So yeah, and he damn near pulled it off. And he parted the Red Sea too, when it was low enough for his army to cross, but then they almost all drowned because the tide came back in.
Who are you talking about?
Nothing. Stupid book stuff you don't like nothing about because you're a xenophobe. I'm reporting you to whoever's listening. You report it on notice. Damn it. And if she talks back, give her another one.
Oh, I'm just going to talk back.
Ah, see? She did another one. That's another one. Get your damn sandwich. Asshole. Yeah, you're saying something that mattered. I was being silly. My bad. Go back to that thing you were talking about.
Let's see. When was the last time I was allowed to talk?
Oh, look at me. I'm victimizing myself. I'm victimizing. Ah, don't touch me. I'm too victim. If you touch me, you might victimize yourself. Ah. You're a victim. You better say something.
I'm
Ronan was
laughing
giving
because you're a
me.
Democrat. That's the consensus right now. Reports are
Oh,
coming in that
ain't
filing
a
in,
damn
and
freaking
you're a
Democrat.
dude.
I remember that episode. Love that episode. It's okay.
So,
We'll say it's the same polls that said Trump was going to get reelected. Those polls didn't mean shit, apparently. Ah,
so
here
you
we
don't
are.
see anything good happening in the near future. You're
Yeah.
just
Oh yeah. Oh no. I see a lot of good happening in the near future. Are you kidding me? Did you not hear Ed after he talked about the 6-foot hologram of AOC? You didn't hear him with the whole rainbow money thing? No one is full of more optimism than yours truly. Kidding me? Like, fathom the thought. Goodness. No, lots of good's going to come out of it. Just not sure anyone knows what the hell it's going to be. And what's good for us may not be good for them. And what's good for them, we're probably going to freaking hate. so who knows how it all ends up. I don't want to look back at history because that just says we go away. I don't want to go away. I like me. Like issues. Mean uncle. The hell is that? Should you know?
are y'all losing me again?
You just came through loud and clear.
Okay, I heard roboting.
I heard rabbits roboting a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know because whenever the internet's fixing to kick me, that's what happens. Everybody starts roboting, and I can't understand a word, and all of a sudden I'm gone.
That sounds like some piss poor planning for the show, don't it? I mean, dude, damn. Shows how much you care.
I do my best. I do
Yeah,
care.
ain't
That's why I'm
much.
here.
Not
These people
Green
in
goes
chat
dead.
are people, and they're from all over, and I'm hoping that somehow, some way, we can all come together with some kind of a solution. I know God wins. I know that prayer works. That I know all this,
Well,
but at the same,
we all gonna meet up
I feel
sooner or later.
at the same time, I feel like
I hope not.
there,
Oh,
there's a lot of things
okay.
that we have to be doing ourselves. That we can't just sit and wait and hope. We have to
Crab
be
diving
doing
in the
something.
Caymans.
And
Vegas,
the best
baby.
thing to do,
Vegas.
goodness gracious, the best thing to do is to live life and find joy in your heart. You know, I want that joy down in my heart.
In Vegas.
Get it? No, it's not in Vegas.
Everything. Even them
No.
damn aliens. And the little gray dudes are in Vegas. Everything's in Vegas.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
And Civilization Zero floating above it, a bird underneath it. I'm sorry, my text is a little rusty.
I don't think you're talking Texan very well.
That's okay. I still don't have the queer to steer ratio, so I'm cocky.
Oh, really? Cruising, cruising, cruising.
Hell, also they'll beat the shit out of me, but they won't stop the stampede overrunning their little towns and shit, right?
Oh,
Can't touch
how,
them.
how do we stop it? How do
Well,
we
if you're gonna
stop
find
thousands
me,
of people?
same way they'd hunt me down and beat me. You put that much effort into it, damn. Couldn't do something. Something. Everybody goes down there in mass and does the Macarena, and the world is so offended by how politically incorrect it is that they shut the country down and start over. But it's got to be
That's true,
everybody that
Tom.
does it.
Well, it's not my
Pardon me,
problem. The
Rick.
short answer is it's not my problem to solve. The
There you
long
go,
answer is
Carl.
I have no pull. I have no say. I don't have the ear of anybody in charge. We can vote till we're blue in the face. They're going to do what they want anyway. So ultimately, I have to
Damn.
surrender it to God, and I say, you know what? It's out of my hands. It's not my problem to solve because there's nothing I could do. I have to live honorably. Then
You got to
go
solve
from
it.
there.
If you don't solve it, then we all have to deal with it. Come
I
on,
can
man,
barely
solve it. Quit holding
solve
out.
I can barely solve my own problems, and now here we are trying to solve the world's problems. If we'd all
Well,
solved
don't
our
be
own
modest.
problems, the world probably wouldn't really have any problems, right? Like, let's be real. Is this
Man,
for problem
that
solving?
is some Sinead O'Connor deep shit. That is awesome right there. That's some Bob Dylan before the pop stuff.
And so that's the thing. A while ago, whenever I said the 70s seemed to have had a big impact on change in a lot
Or
of
maybe
ways.
just
And
you. No one was talking about that.
maybe our parents should have been paying more attention, or were they, or
Well,
I don't know. We
wouldn't
can't
you
blame
say
anybody.
wouldn't you say that the
It's
70s is a product of like the 60s and the 50s and the 60s? Wasn't the 60s kind of more of a wild time? And that when was the free
I don't
love
know. I would
business going on?
we got to go all the way back and step on that thing that crawls out of the ocean.
thing that crawls out
That'll
of the
fix
ocean.
it. Yeah. The
We did
Darwinism
not.
said we evolved to. Are you sure?
Yes, we did not evolve. No,
How do you know?
because I
I'm
know.
not saying you're wrong. I'm
Well, I mean,
genuinely curious here.
we that's you got a mouse in your
A
pocket.
lot of
I
French.
mean, maybe
Look,
Bonnie,
a lot of French.
maybe not everybody, Bonnie. Maybe he's onto something. Maybe some of
You guys started out with the Great Deceiver, and now y'all talking about devolution, which is French for no one
of
cares.
government. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we all are talking about Homo sapiens.
Well, and it's just a natural. It is just natural that with the devolution of government and its essence of the meaning of that word, mind control, as you unravel that, what is left is you're left to your own mind, and that is something that is dangerous for people. Some people can't be left.
Yeah, I don't like. Why do you think I'm asking you how to fix it? I don't want to mess with my own mind.
Right, because if we ask you how to fix it, it's not going to be good for anybody.
I didn't, and I wasn't. Hey, I didn't say I was asking for people's opinions about it. I said they were gonna fix it. That's where you screwed up. They didn't like take a survey of the dodo birds and say, okay, who wants to go extinct? You guys step aside. They just done did it. Done did it.
Wow.
Right? That's what I said. It's just, I just don't remember getting a census report on the topic. That's all.
Elaine.
We got giggling
She
and
says she
smirkling.
got worms, but it's actually one of those like alien parasites that takes over the body and controls the mind. And there's two rabbits right now battling each other within. There's a good rabbit trying to
What
come
is it?
out.
Isn't that
Oh
what
my
Jeffrey Dahmer
goodness.
said right before he murdered somebody? He had to battle things inside of him, or something would come out. You guys are mean, man. Mean.
I'm sorry to hear that,
I,
Dagmar.
I don't go up
Keep
on
you in
people's
prayer.
panels and say they're psycho with alien worms. You guys are brutal. There's no love.
I was just
That's the
using a little
problem.
imagination.
Imagination to say I'm a weirdo. You know, I mean, the message is clear. I'm not
Just
dishing
be
her
warm.
dish.
You'll be okay.
I'm not teasing her creativity. What if Ronan's right,
Barbecue
though?
rock star. Good to see you. It's been a while. So, what surprises me is that whenever I'm listening to people talk, and when they're talking about the mask and the mandates and the whatever, no one is ever mentioning how many thousands of people we have lost. The last 4 years, the death toll has been tremendous. And do we just ignore that those people have been lost? Do we? What? I don't understand.
I guess, are you saying that they've been lost prematurely? That something nefarious
Yes,
caused them to prematurely go?
yes, yes. We know what
Jesus,
happened in the hospitals. We know what happened in the nursing homes. And so that's,
dark.
to me, if we're going to fight, this fight is for those people who have lost their lives and are this grandbaby that's running around my house right now. We cannot forget any of them that have been lost because this is a war. Whether anybody admits it or not, it's been going on for 4 years now. And so we are blessed in being able to still live our lives, still spend money, still be with family whenever we can, to be together as friends whenever we can. And that's what we need. That's where our joy should be, is recognizing the blessings that we do have, but at the same time acknowledging that we have lost so many to this in whatever capacity. Our military is over there all over the world right now. These are people's kids. These are people's grandkids, brothers, sisters, parents, grandparents. And I didn't mean to get all serious, but I just don't want them to be forgotten. That people realize we've had a whole lot more at stake here than just the truth, our history, or whatever. These things are happening now.
I don't want anybody to fight for me after I'm gone. I'm going to give you all my 2 cents right now, because I do believe that what comes after
Jesus,
we
Ronan.
lay this life to
What the-
rest is much better. No, listen to me. Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. All right.
Oh,
Because there's
God.
truth
Yes,
in
Your
this.
Honor.
If we're saying we're Christians and
Yes,
that we
mine.
believe in an afterlife and that
I-
Jesus, God made man, had to come down here to atone for our sins, however you chalk it all up, that after we lay our heads down here and we die, we lay that final rest, that's the first time our eyes open in the next world where it's supposed to be much better, right? Like, that's where our faith is, and that's what we work for in a fight to continue that message. I don't want people writing songs about me per se. Not that they ever will. I get it. Like, there's not going to be, my name ain't going to be in any history books. I don't have visions of grandeur, but I'm trying to put this out, my opinion out there in a little bit nicer way and kind of direct it towards me, because I hate it when, like I talked about it earlier on the show, how even in churches now with the smoke and the music and it's like a chant, it's hypnotizing, and they're playing to our emotions, right?
Yeah.
They're playing to our emotions. The news, everything is playing to our emotions, and I kind of have, at this point anyway, I'm kind of, shall I say, numb to it, if you will. The truth is, yes, people are passing every day. They've passed in larger numbers throughout history. That doesn't appease us today, right? It doesn't make it easier to look at horrible things that have happened in the past and justify it and say, well, it's not that bad now. It's hitting close to home because it is at home, right? But ultimately, this isn't our hope. We're spiritual beings trapped in this body. Some may say it's a punishment. We see blessings every day in relationships we have with people, when we come together, when we find joy, but we're not guaranteed that. The only way we have that is through Christ, through having that connection with your Creator, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't want, when I pass, it's not sad. It's not a gray day. It's a good day. Right, and this is scriptural. It says in the Bible. It might sound a little harsh. I don't know. Everyone says do your own research, read your own Bible, do your research in that, right? So regardless of what your experience is on this life, one thing you are guaranteed is something beyond. However, it seems like, it might not be the same thing for everybody. I don't know. I haven't been there, but
Ronan,
it talks about a good place and a bad place, right? The afterworld, or the afterlife, or what is beyond, or however we're saying that these days.
But if it was because of something that someone was doing to you without your knowledge, then yes, you are one more that has been lost to this evil that has taken over. And that's where, yes, we have to stand together spiritually, with compassion, with love, but at the same time, we have to be prepared mentally for things to come, because we know it's not going to be easy.
I agree.
And yes, your life would mean something. You have friends here.
That's why I was laughing.
I'm not trying to be
dying, bro.
gloomy about it, but the truth is,
Oh, no. It was
I
your
try
timing.
to.
No.
No, I'm not getting gloomy. It's the concept of being a reflection of the light within me. It has nothing to do with doom and gloom. I want to, the love that I share with people, that will remain, right? The good times, the joy we had, right? I'm not, but to be glorified in a sense, or somehow to be put in a place where other people are compelled to make decisions because of my passing. No way. I don't want to have any part of that. I'm just saying that for me, it's a good thing in that sense. And that is what the gospel is saying, that, to not have that fear. Nevertheless, we are emotional people, creatures, however we look at that, humans, men, women, whatever, at all times, different times in our life. And I get that. But I think for me, I don't know why, and especially like right now in these days, anyway, I've been a little bit more perceptive to that. Maybe it is with the holidays, and you kind of start seeing through the BS, and you realize, well, part of it is it robbing from my memories, because as a child, you don't know any better. You find joy, right? Even as a child, you're singing the songs, you're doing the stuff, and then as you get older, you realize, hey, what is this all about, really? Right? And it's like you start questioning things, and then you realize what happens is they use that emotion, they use relationships and emotions to manipulate you, right? And they've done it both sides. I'm not just saying one religious side or the secular side or any side. All sides do it. They put compelling videos up. You see the video of the one elderly lady getting abused, but you don't see the millions of videos of the elderly ladies getting helped. And gentlemen helping them cross the streets or with the groceries or whatever, because that stuff doesn't sell. Nobody watches it. Everybody watches a train wreck, right? Why? Because it invokes emotion.
Right.
We become so numb to that over time that now me personally, I could say a little bit in a positive way. I'm callous to it. I'm more wise to it. There is a truth there. I do have a living spirit in me, right? And I do feel, right? I feel pain when I see others hurt, right? I feel joy when I see others hurt, or when others are joyful, right? And hey, when we're putting a hurting on the enemy, there is a joy in that too, because my enemy is the greater's enemy. There is nothing like that going on.
You get him, boy. You tell him. You tell him now. You want it now. No waiting around for stuff. Now,
and I know that there's a ton of good people out there. I mean, we saw it Christmas. We saw it before Christmas. Around here, there was boxes. There was jars for donations for the needy families. There was food drop-offs. There was toy drop-offs. And then you've got all those people that go around and give those things out whenever on Christmas Day or even before. I know there's a lot of good people out there.
Sounds like a bunch of babies. Oh man!
But those are the people that we need to get together. And even just doing those good deeds, though, that is going against the evil. I'm sure that evil doesn't like whenever good deeds are being done. So keep doing the good deeds. Do you know, there's
God
a
put up a
program
board or something? I want to see like a numbers board, like a video game, and I want to see a good score and an evil score, so that I know that when we do good stuff.
I don't. It doesn't matter. Those numbers are just numbers.
What is it? I want vengeance against the evil. I want to see evil. What is it? Burn. You gotta burn stuff. Ronan's always burning stuff. Burn the evil. What is it? A new French Revolution. Except we'll know how to
I
spell.
can add to that. I mean, it's one thing. I mean, it is important to do what the Spirit compels you to do. Loving your neighbor as yourself.
Oh.
Right? What?
Yes.
You don't think those conquistadors weren't compelled to burn people? So I
don't know. I don't know any of them. I don't know any of those folks from history. All I read about them is in books, and here we are talking about all the lies we're taught. Yet we're believing that the lies are true when they're talking about them being good or bad or however. I don't know. I never had a conversation with any of them to tell you what they're like, what they believe, whatever. I'm here right now, and so are you. You have to always remember where you are in time and space. That's a very important.
I'm not exactly sure where I'm at right now.
That's a very important thing. From the debate. Yeah, it's a very important thing. You always have to know
Bonnie, I've been disqualified. I didn't.
It has to do with jurisdiction of all kinds. It's a big deal, right? So what happened back then? You guys have the same story I do, whatever. I wasn't there to talk to any of them, see it play out in truth. We're here and now, and we can solve our own problems if we come together and try to do that. I do agree with that.
So we
Yeah,
come together, we
and
burn them out.
Well, I mean, come
Every-
together in the sense of we have to have a common understanding. I'm not advocating for communities to come together and people migrating and moving or none of that stuff. Have a common understanding, which up to this point, common law basically just says loss, injury, and harm, right? It's a common saying. It's been well received amongst many communities. This concept that we conduct ourselves honorably.
Yeah.
We're not seeking to cause loss, injury, and harm to anybody. Sometimes mistakes happens. We atone for that. We repent, whatever. However, this concept that we have the overlord that we have to get permission to do anything for, and we have to pay them for everything too. They're our king. We don't own the land. We have to pay them tax. If we don't, they replace us with somebody who does, right? So there's a lot of things going on with that. So with knowing where you are in time and space kind of comes into that. That's what I'm saying. It has to do with jurisdiction. So all that stuff that happened now brought us here, sure. And we have to learn from the past so we don't repeat the same mistakes. Everyone says that, but throughout history, it's a constant revolution, the same thing over and over again. It's like, it blows my mind. They say those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. That's the saying, right? But yeah, history's been repeated over and over and over and over again. So it's like, well, we got to try something different. We need to throw a wrench, something in the spokes here.
That's going to cause a war, and then we're going to do it over and over and over again. You don't put no wrench in my spoke. I got a shiny spoke. Don't want no tarnishing on it. And a little dirt wrench.
Well, and I mean, ultimately, if you read the Bible and you believe it, what that spoke is the second coming of Jesus, right? That's the only thing that undoes it. His first coming gave us a chance, gave us resurrection, gave us salvation, right? Gave us a way out before that spoke,
yes,
if you will. So it's
Yeah.
not
I get
anything
it.
we can really do, as far as that goes.
but at the
This
same
evil is here.
time, we're
I
all
just want to
human.
endure.
We all sin. And so we can't just be how do you say it? I mean, it's like there's a limit. It's like when you're raising children and you can't treat all crimes equally. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. So you can't hold it against people. No one's perfect. And I think that some people expect us all to be perfect. And if you try to do that, you will stress yourself out to death. Trust me, I tried it. And and then whenever you fail all the way because you think, okay, now I'm not even worthy of God because I did whatever the sin is, ate too much food for a year and gained 100 pounds or whatever it is. Just whatever.
Damn, that's not food.
Your headset, Rabbits. I think your headset's making a goofy noise. It's like a wah wah.
Yeah,
That's just me. Look, I'm having a hard day. I go a little quirky every now and then.
And the reason I said that is because I've just been hearing like some judging going on of people, and we can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some who need to be judged that aren't. Everything is backwards right now. In case y'all haven't noticed, everything is backwards. We have no law. We have no justice. We have no None of that is working. None of it. It's not working the way it was supposed to work. We have criminals roaming free, and we have innocent people put behind bars. It's just the way it is.
Damn right.
And it's
They crucified
ridiculous.
Jesus 2,000 years ago.
That's right. And so that's another thing. We all have a cross to bear. And I've seen people come through this town pulling a cross. I think he was like nationwide news for a while there. And
I doubt that. It might have offended somebody. I don't think it was anything new.
well, this was before everyone was offended over everything. And so are we going to fall into that? Are we going to fall into, any
done
of
did.
these
Did you
channels
not see the Macy's
that are
this year for the Chinese dragons?
all of these channels that are trying to keep the community together and give them a place to meet up and talk, and that's what I love about the community and the chat and everybody. So, and everyone has a different way of doing it, but the goal is still the same, is just trying to get people together, like-minded, to get through this and as soon as we can. Right?
No,
I don't know.
that's a horrible idea.
It's just,
That is like the worst idea. Oh man.
it just bothers me when I see the judgment of people going on or over ridiculous things. We have so many more things.
Wow, way to respect your community. Oh, they're just mad over stupid stuff. Yes, Your Highness. Oh, thank you for considering us.
I'm
man.
not saying the whole
Thank you,
community. I'm
Princess
just
Bonnie.
saying.
Thank you, Princess Bonnie.
Oh my goodness. Yes, hilarious too. That's
You're supposed to care about your community. No matter how stupid they is. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Oh, man.
all right, y'all. It's been 2 hours of craziness again.
What? I think it's been 3.5 years, man. I'm about to go file for social
Well,
security.
yes, it's been that too. But let me go ahead and close it up tonight.
But wait, did
Hopefully,
we accomplish whatever you wanted to do while you did up?
Oh, I think so. I don't
There's a
know.
lot going on. I just want to make sure the message got out, that you made a difference.
I don't know that it made a difference, but it helped me to understand more of what everybody's
I got
thinking.
Got it.
Rabbits and Ronan, I appreciate y'all being on the channel, and I appreciate your views. Everyone in chat, y'all have been amazing.
Bird.
No, have I said anything mean about anything y'all said?
Ronan knows he sucks. I was an angel.
Please find happiness somewhere, some way. Volunteer.
Oh,
Here, our library takes volunteers. There's so many places that'll take volunteers. The community center, the I don't know what's around you, a YMCA or
Oh wow, wow.
what? What is wrong with volunteering?
You started out with, hey, everything's fine, you guys. I'm so glad everything's good. And there's a break, right? And you're like, do whatever it takes to survive. Because
That is
be
not what I'm
happy,
saying.
be happy, and no matter what, volunteer if you have to.
It,
It just sounded like a mixed message.
it's what I'm trying to say is it helps you to stay mentally stable, in control of.
That's a mighty fine volunteer, and if it does all that, all of California needs to volunteer. Pronto.
It does. It builds your confidence. It gets you out around other people.
Some powerful volunteering.
Quit being so negative. Okay, y'all.
I'm not.
I
I
am
just had
closing this down.
You
Y'all
can't
have
run
a
away
good
from the
night.
topic. Censor. Look at the
Appreciate
censor
y'all.
there at the system.
Love you. God bless you. And see you next time.
Being doxxed.